Started with just being as simple as me wanting to put something back in the ground. It's a good use of the environment because it's not damaging the land. You know, it's a soft use. Seemed like a good marriage. Film would be treated as art here. Art and the environment seemed like a good combination, so that's how it started.
When I read the novel that this film is based on, one of the things that was moving to me was this idea of a boy who becomes a man almost by becoming a woman.
Sure I can't take that young'un off your hands? I'll best be going then. Bye-bye, y'all.
Although this looks like an action picture and has a lot of the conventions of an action picture, I hope it's critical of that genre.
It's a great process because it allows you to sort of go through the motions of actually making a film without all the pressures of making a real film, the money, without all the pressures of having to deliver something good, you know, or it's not result-oriented. Very nice.
The idea of refueling or bringing new blood into something has always been attractive to me. So how to do that, I found a way by using the form of theater. You know, how theater people work. It's just bodies in a room. It's the human resource, fairly naked. And I like the idea of that. Have a rehearsal place for film. It didn't exist. There was no place where film could rehearse. So because of that, we focus on human behavior, performing, screenwriting, developing a story, developing characters. And the reason to do it here was that it just seemed right, use of my own land and my own property to give to that cause.
3 seasons is sort of, it's 3 intertwining stories, and each story is set in a different season of Vietnam. It's the dry season, the wet season, and the growth season.
I push and I move. I am the sun that has not risen. I am the moon that does not shine. I am the shooting star that goes nowhere.
Great cut. And this is one of the great things I've learned here at Sundance, and that's the ability to work with a lot of professional actors. For my short, you know, half my cast was all family members. Some of these people have made films for, you know, 20, 30 years. That's very intimidating. You can start out and let me understand. You can start moving, but just really slow.
No, I can't do it right now, Tom. I have to break.
All the people this session have written their own screenplay, so they have very definite vision in their head, and suddenly they'll encounter a professional actor who has a different vision, and they're so shocked by it that it's a process of learning that that's not necessarily a bad thing.
The filmmaker comes here and they have their own voice. That's where they're chosen, the independent voice. And they're usually asked by the advisor, what is the point you want to make? What do you want out of this scene?
We look at the footage that has been shot and edited, and then we discuss what things are going on with those filmmakers and what we could do to help them.
I see our role is to try to help the filmmaker realize their own vision.
Rather than saying, what are you doing? This is how you should do it. It always is prefaced by, what do you want? What story do you want to tell? What do you want out of this scene?
So I decided to take this half day and just shoot this weird little kind of, this character Roby asking character Toker on a date. And I didn't really give the actors much direction at all. I just let them go. Now I'm finding out, you know, what that means to let the actors just go and to let the shots go. It's nice. My project is called A Good Baby, and it's a Southern fable set in North Carolina about a loner who discovers an abandoned newborn baby, and the story turns into a murder mystery and a love story. And acting. The opportunity to practice shooting your scenes is just an invaluable tool. I realized things that I had written were very impractical, if not, you know, unrealistic. And you can do all that stuff just like you did before, really like
Quick.
yeah, because I'm going to cut it like
Quicker, faster.
Well, you screen your scene for all the advisors, and then you go sit outside, and they're in a circle with you, and they go one by one and tell you what they thought.
There is no right or wrong in filmmaking. There's successful or unsuccessful, and always the question is on whose terms.
Nobody had anything good to say about this scene. They were so tough on me.
Every week they get this new batch of advisors who come in with their own sets of very set ideas.
I was just like writing everything down, going, I suck, okay.
What people get is slapped around a little bit, and the people, usually what they end up doing is learning to take the part that really is good for them and really helpful to them. If the filmmaker says, I want you to get the hell off the set, then we do that. If the filmmaker says, I'm having trouble with the actors, I would appreciate a little help on that, then you move in, you say, well, now, what do you want from the actor? And you start to work through it by doing it.
And then I worked really hard on my next scene, and it went really well, and I got, like, you know, an A on my report card.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of these guys. I think, God, I wish I had this, you know.
The premise of the lottery is a lottery where Social Security numbers are drawn each week, and the selected Social Security numbers, those people are forced into a battle to the death.
At least I know now I don't want to die.
Like, one person will be left standing in the end.
She cared a lot about the world around her.
What a twist.
There were Catholic schools, but only hints of anything musical.
And each person has their own TV crew, like a reality TV show like Cops. It has characters that aren't usually represented in movies. It has gay characters, it has a pregnant person.
If it's a boy, I'm gonna name him Jeff.
Which gives you a lot more options to edit it later. I would cover the scene actually from at least 4 different angles and run the whole scene all the way through from So the one angle I would run it all the way through is the surveillance camera, definitely from there. The high angle shot and to the moving camera shot.
And I like, to me, this is a much more interesting way to differentiate between those 2 levels of reality. You'll be able to make that choice in editing.
Well, I get the satisfaction of seeing a community develop for art, which is one of the reasons I started it. I get the satisfaction of seeing this environment put to a better use than smokestacks.
One summer, a movie fell through, and I thought, oh, I'll go to Sundance. So I came here sort of like because I was depressed. And I actually had a very, without trying to sound too obnoxious, a very uplifting experience.
It might have been a healing experience, would you say, John?
It wasn't, it was exciting. It was exciting to be with the other filmmakers.
Yeah.
See, I shouldn't have put them behind me.
Also, we're 16, 17 years old with the lab now, so they've got quite an alumni who have come through who can talk about it. But for a long time, no one knew we were here. It wasn't altogether bad.
Actually, one of the actors here said that it was so incredible because everybody was talking about art, and without like feeling that they were being pretentious.
Without looking over their shoulder.
Yeah.
This is a place where you can come and risk failing and not have it cost you dearly. This is a place where you can come and really explore yourself, see how far you can push the envelope with what you want to do, test yourself.